What if you got your period during fantasy suites?
Do you know what?
What?
I have heard that if a girl has cramps and actually has an orgasm, that it helps her cramps. So maybe that's how you know if he'll be a good husband, is if you do get your period during fantasy suite and you're
I
feeling
like
really
your
sick,
twist.
and the guy, instead of being grossed out and like, oh, never mind, is actually like, hey, do you know what? Let's just go in the shower. It'll be fine. You know?
I like your take on it. You see, maybe I have internal misogynistic tendencies because I thought it was more of a discussion of like, how would you hide that? Or like, how would
Well,
you
no, you gotta be up front. I mean, there's not really hiding that when you're moving around down there anyway.
You can't really be like, let's just turn off the lights.
Or like, excuse me for a minute while I remove this tampon. Like, you're gonna have to admit it.
I don't know why, but like your response is so much better. You're like, well, this is his true test.
And it's like, hey, if the bachelor was like, hey, no big deal. This is natural. It happens. If you're not comfortable, we could just hang out and talk or go in the shower. You know, it's like, that's how you know if he'd be a good husband, I feel like, from the girl's perspective.
I don't know how I got onto this fantasy suite thing with periods. I think it's just because I've been on my period.
And it's just a natural thought. Everybody's had it.
It's a natural thought. Like,
you think about these things. Like in action movies or fantasy movies.
Yeah.
And they're like on a journey.
You're like, what if I was on my period?
Exactly.
I mean, that just ruins basically all of any shark movie, but joking. I've been in the ocean on my you've been on the ocean in your period.
Yes, I have.
And I remember this because Victoria is 5 years younger than me, but she has she had a hormone condition when she's younger.
I still have. It's called McCune-Albright syndrome, and it makes you have puberty faster. I got lucky. I got my period at 11, which is kind of normal. Some people get it at 3, though, with this disease.
Oh, that would suck. But basically, she got her period before I got mine. And so we were on a vacation, and our mom stayed home. And I guess she was on her period that week. How do I know this? Because when we went to the beach, let's go get away. When we went to the beach, she goes into the ocean, and I do too. And all of a sudden, in these Gulf Shore, Alabama waters, about 20 minutes later, pops up between us a pad. I'm not shaming. I use a pad every period. I'm fucking soaking through a pad right now as we speak. I cannot physically use tampons, so I'm not shaming you for your pad use. And obviously, like, this is a kind of like a sad story, and like it should be more of an open dialogue so girls don't have to go through this. But looking back in hindsight, it's a little bit funny that like out of nowhere in the ocean, like this pad pops up. The best part is you try to play it off as like, man, people really litter down here. You try to blame the locals of Gulf Shores for littering as the reason why a pad popped up in between us.
That's pretty smart for on the fly.
That was pretty smart, but like there was literally no one else at the beach at that time in that area we were at.
Mm-hmm.
I did actually think it was litter for like a good 2 minutes, and then I was like, wait, there's no one else in these waters.
I mean,
and it just sprung to the top. So maybe that just shows you how pads aren't that absorbent. Because, you know, if it was really absorbent, it would just, like, take the water in and sink, right? I'm not a scientist, but...
You'd think so. But yeah, you wouldn't think... Well, okay, in my 11-year-old mind, I thought... I'm like, oh, if I don't wear a pad at all, then by the time I walk from the hotel to the beach, it's going to be, like, dripping down my thighs. Which, in reality, it would not have bled that much in that short period of time. It's
the same, like, weird thing how, like, every time I take a bath on my period, I never, like, am bleeding in the tub. I don't know if that's everybody, but just for me, like, for some reason it knows, like, not, it knows.
The cooch knows.
Yeah, like, I don't bleed when I'm in a tub on my period. Yeah, of course, like, I've had times where I'm at the beach during my period and I don't wear a tampon, but you know what? I just wear a black swimsuit and I go in the water often, but it's never, like, gushing out. And maybe some people think that's gross, but what can you do?
I mean, the ocean is full of bodily fluid.
Yeah. No, that's one of my favorite period stories, and it's not even my own, although I have several.
And you've told this one several times to
because
several
it's
people.
A classic. It's a classic, and it's one of those things like I feel like they don't talk about periods enough, like in not even on The Bachelor, but like on fictional things and like movies. And like for example, I'm reading Midnight Sun,
Oh God.
reigniting my Twilight love.
Did it ever leave though? I feel like it's been flaming hard.
It kind of did for a few years, but then every day it rained, I'd be like, do, 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 do,
Yeah.
do, do, do.
Okay, maybe you could just plug in the music here instead.
Yeah, I'll insert the music that was bad. That was supposed to be Edward's play. But yeah, I do love me some Twilight on a rainy day. I ain't gonna lie. Anyways, I'm rereading Midnight Sun, and I can't help but think like what happens when Bella's on her period? You know, like is Edward just like digging through the trash in her house to like suck the blood out of her tampons?
That is the
Is
grossest
he?
visual you could have said. But at the same time,
I mean, come on.
I get it.
He like vividly describes how he would like murder people, and like I
No,
don't
no,
think
it fits. But that's like,
how is that not brought up? How's that not brought up?
okay, let's be real here. Maybe it's something that like doesn't smell that good to them. Like think about it. If you have meat that's fresh, I know you don't cook with meat, so you wouldn't understand. It
Oh
doesn't
God.
smell like that much. Like you shouldn't be able to smell it. But if you have meat that's a couple days old and you open the packaging, you can smell that shit and you do not want it.
You're equating that like maybe he's grossed out by her on her
I
period?
say, as a human being who menstruates, I can smell it even when it's fresh
Oh,
and
I can
healthy.
smell it. Yeah,
So I'm
no.
saying, like, from a
I don't know
vampire's
how
point
those
of view,
points go together, but I can too, and
maybe
I'm
like
very hygienic, I'd like to
when
think.
it's
I'd
in
like to
their
think that
body, it's like that good smell, but like when it's period blood,
ew.
it's got that like, oh, this is 2 days past the use by date. You can kind of smell that like irony funk when you open the hamburger packaging. So you just want to cook that for the dogs. You don't want to eat that yourself.
Oh my, there's so many levels of psychological
Like
analytics
maybe if
to
he
this.
was desperate, like he didn't eat the deer and he was super hungry, he'd go
Well,
for it.
no. What
But
I'm
if he's
saying is
like,
like if he's like, we've seen New Moon, he's salivating when she gets a fucking paper cut.
but again,
How that
fresh. That ain't old. If it was like a paper cut from 3 days ago, maybe he'd be like, no, thank you.
but wouldn't technically period blood be like the best cuz it's like that's what's used to create new life.
I mean, it's like
But
new
it's
life
dead.
torn up
Yeah.
though.
Yeah. Damn.
But that's just what I'm saying. As a meat eater,
As
if you open meat and it's fresh, it shouldn't really smell like anything.
God bless anyone who's still listening. No, but Stephanie Meyer, the author of Twilight, did say in like a fan Q&A, someone asked about like when Bella's on her period, like, and she said it's like he's too much of a gentleman to say anything, and it's dead blood.
That makes you wonder too. Maybe he's in the mindset of going down on a woman is wrong morally.
What?
You know, like how he
How
wanted
did
to.
you get?
Wait a second.
We were
You. Here. I'm saying how he's waiting for marriage, but I'd be like, maybe he's the type of person who's like, okay, missionary, fine, oral, no,
what?
like that's too naughty
I
for him.
I mean, I was just talking about when she's on her period, if he wants to kill her more. But you
Oh,
think
I
it's a
thought you
moral
meant. Never mind.
no,
I
but
didn't think you meant killer. I
that
thought you meant
is
the other thing. My bad. I misread
no.
the situation.
But now my mind is
But also, though, wouldn't he
but
want to?
yeah. Yeah. Like wouldn't that be a thing for him?
Like a vampire kink?
Yeah, a vampire. That would be it. Like the number one vampire thing you kink. Say that 5 times fast. That'd be like the number one vampire kink you'd think, because it's like so much of their whatever angst is about like them not doing it. There's your loophole.
Yeah. Or maybe it's something like he couldn't do it because he'd be too tempted just to actually like kill
Just
her for like if
just
he
to
had the
keep
first
going. Like
taste. Yeah,
yeah.
like he'd be like, okay, now I'm gonna
He
destroy
he'd
her whole
he'd like
body.
do it with teeth.
Yeah, or something like actually like rip into her literally. So maybe it's like a self control thing where it's like it would be too tempting.
Yeah.
at the time. Like, whatever. In the first book, doesn't he have to drink her blood for a bit? And, like, he wants to kill her then, too.
I can't remember. I don't know. I'll tell you when I finish.
Right? Because she's, like,
Yeah, he
almost
does.
dying.
She's almost dying.
I'm pretty sure. And then he has to, like, bite her once, and then he almost doesn't stop. So maybe it's like, oh, he couldn't do that during the monthly visit because it'd be too tempting just to kill her all the way.
Okay, but with that argument, if it's so tempting, then why wouldn't he just, like, drink her period blood?
You know what? She should get a Diva cup. I'm just saying. That would be, it's good for the environment, first of all. And it'd be better for him. He wouldn't even have to pour it into anything else. He could just go straight from it. And it's kind of like a glass of wine in a way, the shape.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
And that would work. It could be like she just gives it to him and then like leaves the house for a minute while he enjoys it.
I don't think I can read the rest of this book without ever thinking about that.
I'm just saying, it would make the most sense. It's a win-win situation. I mean, it helps financially because you don't have to keep buying new pads or tampons every month.
Oh my god, you're going into the breakdown of it.
I'm just saying, hypothetically, if vampires were real, this would be a win-win situation. And you could start your own small business marketing period
selling
blood.
to vampires.
Bella could sell her period blood to the Collins. And she could get Jessica in on it and the other girl with glasses. She doesn't have to say what it's for. She could just say it's for perverts. She could just be like, hey, perverts on the internet will pay us for our period blood.
I bet there's actually people who do that in real life, though, who pay for period blood on the internet.
Oh, my God, you're right.
So that kind of makes it more gross.
I mean, if it makes you money, though.
Yeah, but, I mean, if I'm going to think that I'm too good to sell on the internet, do you think I'm going to sell my period blood? Yeah. I don't know.
I'm just honestly too lazy to go through the steps, whatever they would be for that. But my point is, Bella could start her own business selling her period blood to the Collins.
There you go. Shark Tank idea. Shark Week crossed over. But yeah, no. Off this Twilight tangent that has taken a turn. I do not know. Isn't this
supposed to be about The Bachelor?
Yeah.
Right.
To listen to the full version of this podcast, where we actually do talk more about The Bachelor, and take a look at Claire's upcoming season of The Bachelorette, you can check us out on Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts from, at Here for a Good Time, with your no-filter sisters, Alexandria and Victoria Morgan. For all podcast business inquiries, or maybe if you want to share your own embarrassing stories, you can contact us at hereforagoodtimepod@gmail.com. Support and tips through our PayPal is never expected, but always appreciated. And you can also follow me on Instagram at Alexandria to the max. Victoria doesn't have a social media account because she's just that cool. I'll catch you guys on the flip side, and thanks for checking out this preview of Here for a Good Time.